I'll have to think about that one. New stories.
He's told me so many. Oh my God, he has so many great stories. A lot of, especially the rainbow stories.
Yeah.
Are really fun. Like, you know, Richie Blackmore apparently was quite the prankster, and he's told me a bunch of stories about tricks he played on people.
Yeah. He used to, this place we stayed in Switzerland was a really old chateau. And what he did with a lot of the other guys, he was tying like cotton to windows and stuff and pulling the handles down with his thread in the middle of the night. And he was telling them that the place is haunted. You know, the place is bloody haunted. You've got to be really, really careful because there is an evil ghost here. And he would do this. These were the tricks he played on them. But somebody told me that one of the guys in the band told me, Richie would, he would never do that to you. I said, why? He says he respects you. You know, he wouldn't, So, thank you, Richie. I appreciate that. Until I had my hair cut, then he fucking hated me.
yeah. And still to this day, you get your hair cut.
A haircut, come on,
Yeah, you escaped through the window, right? That was the story?
We were on the 19th floor. Yeah.
Parachute.
I flew to get my hair cut. That was just so ridiculous. So now Richie, I've seen him on whatever, Facebook, YouTube, or something, where he's told the story, and now it's more elaborate. It's really good now. The parts of it I don't even know.
Yeah.
There was a guard on the door holding a sword. I mean, all kinds of stuff.
He's got it time stamped too.
Yeah. in fact, I spoke to the guy who was supposed to be the guard on the door, didn't we? Recently, he lives in Florida, and I said to him, Colin Hart, his name is. I said to him, Colin, tell Bethany that is not true with what he says, And he said, it's not a bloody bullshit, He said, he wasn't standing guard on the door. We just went out that day. There was a barber shop down the street where we were, and my hair was getting scruffy looking, and when you got short hair, you have to keep it nice and neat, So I said to my ex-wife, I'm just going here while you're shopping. So that's all it was. And then we came back, went back to the hotel. But next day on stage, I think I've told you this, I'm not sure. Might have done. But next day on stage, we don't see each other all day. We never saw each other. We didn't, mingle and go shopping together like the Beatles in Beatles movies or whatever. So I came on stage. Everybody was there. I'm always last on, And he looked at me, haircut, short, nice. It's really, really neat, really, And he looks across and and he walked off. And he goes behind the stack, with his guitar. And I think he played probably about 5 songs behind there. He did come back.
He was
came
so
out
offended.
Later. He had to come out later, It was something where he had to join in with the band and go, do his thing. But he was in shock. And next day there was a meeting in Richie Blackmore's room, and we all had to go downstairs or upstairs or wherever it was in the Holiday Inn in somewhere. And he said, we all walked in, and he said, I'm glad you're all here. And we're going, what is it? What's wrong? We thought somebody had been killed or something, And he just went, it's Graham's hair. And there was silence. And then everybody goes, what the fuck? And everybody cracked up, especially Cozy. I remember he went, oh, fucking hell.
You didn't realize it was the most offensive thing you can do.
Yeah. He really thought I was, doing it because he had a thing about long hair, short hair, da-da-da-da-da. Because Richie at that time was receding very well, a lot, which is a shame, and I understand that.
It happens.
It happens, I used to have long hair, but it was a thing I did, and I wasn't going to change just because I was in this band called Rainbow, where everybody had long hair,
Well, I feel like a lot of people liked you because of how authentic you were.
Yeah.
And it's like you didn't have to blend into this whole metal movement. You were Graham.
Yeah. I was anti whatever the hell that is, that look, But my hair was like yours. It was down here, it was down my back at one point, and what's up with that? But I sort of grew out of that. And, the punk thing happened in London. That's what turned me around a little bit. And everybody's wearing short, spiky hair or whatever, and, clothes with cuts, pins and the ripped shirts, I guess you call them. Yeah, all that kind of thing. Everybody started to look different. I thought, oh, what can I do? So I got my hair short already, and so I decided to have all my clothes made in the 1950s style, really 1950s. And I went to a tailor in London who actually made a suit for a guy called Bobby Darin, who was a 1950s singer. Oh, the sharks, babe, and the teeth there, and that guy who sang that. And he said, I've got some material here that was going to be Bobby's, but he died. And I said, oh, okay, could you make me a suit out of that? Would that be possible? Or are you going to keep it for, whatever? And he said, no, I can do that for you. So the first suit I had made was ready for Bobby Darin. And it's kind of cool.
That's a nice fun fact right there. Wow, that's so specifically crazy.
Yeah, we're going back to Bobby Darin now, yeah. We're going back a long time. But I think everybody knows some of that stuff that he sang. It was great, So anyway,
well, that's cool.
My story.
And people today are doing kind of the same thing where like they're trying to style clothes and get clothes that were made that looks like they were from the 80s.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it kind of all comes around. It's every generation does it,
always. You look at old photographs of people in the 1920s and go, wait a minute, that's but girls are wearing things like, you wear sometimes, but it does turn around every
Oh yeah.
the fashion
it gets recycled
come
every
back all the
30
time.
years or something.
Yeah.